Good morning, all my pro-democracy, pro-freedom-loving, pro-European patriots. Why am I doing this story? Very simply. Europe is the cradle of Western culture. It is where democracy was born. It's where we get our laws, our language, and our culture from. To destroy Europe is to destroy our roots. Now, let's take a look at this story from ABC. German investigators seek motive in fatal knife attack. Investigators are looking for a motive behind an attack in the German city of Würzburg, in which a man armed with a long knife killed 3 people and wounded at least 5 others. Now, in this story, if you're willing to dig deep enough, it answers these questions. If you go down to the 3rd paragraph, they mention that this man was from Somali. If you go down to the 4th paragraph, you find out that he was a refugee who came in 2015. And if you go all the way down to the 11th paragraph, you find out the motive. As he was doing this heinous crime, this act of terrorism, he was yelling Allahu Akbar. So, this story is very dishonest. The Europeans are much more honest with their stories on this attack. Let's take a look. This is from the British Daily Mail UK. Somali knifeman who killed 3 people and wounded 6 more in German street rampage yelled Allahu Akbar. Man arrested alive after brave members of the public fought him off. As you can see in this very headline, they don't ask the stupid question of why he killed 3 people. We know. He was from Somali. He had no wish to integrate into Western culture. In the 6 years that he has been in Germany, do you think he was trying to learn German? Do you think he was trying to integrate into the culture? Or do you think that this man tried to bring his culture over with him from the very country he fled, knowing his country was a shithole, not thinking that maybe if I go to a better country, I need to change a little bit, adapt to that culture, because obviously they're doing something right in this country. After all, I want to come there. No. This man did not have any critical thinking at all. Democracy does need to be defended. We can't allow every Tom, Dick, and Harry that wants to come into our country come in. That's why we should be interviewing people who want to emigrate to our countries. Do you want to learn our culture? Do you want to learn our language? Do you want to learn our laws? Are you willing to abide by our laws, our culture, and our customs? If not, keep walking. There are plenty of other countries out there. Now, not all countries are rolling over and playing dead. There are still a few beacons of light out there. For instance, let's take this story from NBC. Identity politics take to the soccer field as Germany stands up to Hungary's anti-LGBT laws. Now, you would think that Germany is being all brave and shit. Germany is much bigger and larger than Hungary. It's easy for the big guy to stand up to the little guy. Let's take a look at the sub-headline. They've learned from Trump, I'm afraid. They're not respecting fundamental rules, said Mark Angel, a European Parliament member. How much more fundamental can a country get than to obey its own laws? To enact laws that represent what its citizens want. Let's go on just a little bit. Let's start with the second paragraph. The two nations represent starkly opposing government stances on LGBT rights, with Hungary facing international criticism for a law formally enacted this week which bans the promotion of homosexuality or transgender issues in schools and seemingly conflates them with pedophilia. Seemingly? They're doing the far reach here. And as for banning laws that promote homosexuality or transgender issues in schools, they should. Schools are meant to educate a child, to teach him to think on his own, not to indoctrinate him. But unfortunately, Germany has a long history, dating back 100 years, of indoctrinating rather than teaching. Now, I'm not going to mention when Germany started all this, but you know. Germany is actually the big bully here. Take a look at this next paragraph that I'm going to read. The decision has been lambasted by German and European Union lawmakers as an own goal by UEFA and a win for Hungary's right-wing government, led by Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Let's go on. As you can see, tiny little Hungary fought big bad Germany to a 2-2 tie. The story goes on to say that progressive values and Hungary's hardline social conservatism rages on. Like conservatism is a bad thing? To conserve means to keep and hold things that are precious to you, things that have been passed down in your culture, doesn't it? The EU's Commissioner for Justice, Didier Reynders, vowed to take any action necessary to thwart the new law, which will come into force in 2 weeks' time. You see, the European Union does not want to respect the laws of its own country's members. It's a good thing England broke from the EU, and it looks like Hungary may be forced to leave sometime soon. Now, the EU is not really a democratic institution, let alone a republic like the United States, which is much better than a democratic country because, well, a republic guarantees the right of the individual much better than the democracy does. I'm proud of Hungary for not bowing to Germany, the EU, and the socialist propaganda outlets.